Come to standing on your mat, feet hip width apart. Lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, raise your arms up, clasp your hands and reverse your palms upwards. Breathing out, go to one side. Breathing in, come to the center and stretch the palms up to the ceiling. And breathing out, come to the other side. Breathing in, come to the center and stretch your palms upwards. Breathing out, just gently turn to one side. Come to the center and breathing out, gently turn to the other side and come to the center. And then releasing your hands to shoulder height. Do feel that you can bend your arms if that's too much for you, and breathing out, turn your head to look. I'm looking beyond my left hand. It doesn't matter which though. Come to the center and breathing out, I'm turning to look beyond my right fingers. Coming to the center and releasing the hands back down alongside you. Lift and roll your shoulders. Hands on your hips, this opens your lungs. Just check that your feet are hip width apart. And then just gently bend your knees and your bottom goes slightly away from you. You can stay looking forward or up. This puts on your abdominal control. Press your feet down and come up to standing. Release your arms back down alongside you. Lift and roll your shoulders and clasp your hands behind you, aiming your knuckles towards the ground. Turn to your left, come to the center, and then turn to your right, and then come to the center. Release your hands and place your hands on your waist once more. And we're going to test balance this morning by gently lifting the heels and just seeing how our balance is. It invites the left and the right brain hemispheres to communicate with one another. And then just lowering your feet back down to the ground. Lifting and rolling your shoulders. And then just sway gently from side to side. Just really enjoy this movement. We do it so often. It's a really gentle swaying side to side. Moving all the energies, rebalancing your energies, deeply calming, balancing your hips, your emotional aspect, because your brain hemispheres again are just being slightly balanced as you move from left to right. And then just come to the center and lift and roll your shoulders. And once again, raise your hands up, stretch your fingers, and then clasp your hands and reverse your palms upwards. Come to the side as you just slightly bounce in and out. Come to the center and reach your hands up. Feel that your hips are being held, but when you come to the other side, you're not twisting forwards. That's quite difficult actually, because you can do it and not realise it. Just bounce slightly to the other side. Come to the centre, stretch up, and if you're able to, look up. If not, just look straight ahead. And then breathing out, bring your head to centre, and then just lower your arms to shoulder height. Turn your head to the left and look beyond the fingers of your left hand. Bring your head to the center very slowly and turn your head to the right, looking beyond the fingers of your right hand. And then come to the center and lower your arms and lift and roll your shoulders. And then placing your hands on your waist, just bend your knees, again engaging the abdominal muscles, looking forward or up. and then coming back up to standing. Once more, clasping your hands behind you and aiming your knuckles to the ground. You'll feel this opening at the shoulder level, and you're also feeling it stretching your chest and uplifting for the chest, which is uplifting for the mood, by the way, and particularly helpful on a grey autumnal day. And then just releasing your hands and just circling your wrists as you raise your hands up, and circling your wrists as your hands come down. And again, circle your wrists up and circle your wrists down. And then just open your fingers and curl them in, and open them and curl them in. So come to have your hands alongside you, come to the top of the mat, and we're going to do a very modified salute to the sun, limiting forward movement today. So this is very much more a moon-based salute to the sun. It is salute to the sun, but there's a moon aspect there. So breathing in and breathing out as you bring your hands to the chest, your heart center, and press your palms together. Just notice that this naturally realigns you. And then breathing in as you raise your hands up. You can either look ahead, you can look up, but again for neck or eye issues, just look ahead. And breathing out as you bend down. You can keep your gaze neutral, you don't have to bring your head down at all. And then slide your right foot back, and then your left foot back so that you're kneeling. Again, you've got the option of looking down, but you also have the option of keeping your gaze upwards. Breathing in, dip your back, and breathing out, round your back. So normally it would be chin to chest, but you don't have to look down at all, you can keep your gaze up. And breathing in, dipping your back, and breathing out, chin to chest, but you can keep looking up, and just then bring your bottom towards your heels and stretch out your back. Again, how much you move your neck is up to you. I'm demonstrating looking ahead, so there's a limitation on the forward movement, but you can of course come forward with your head if you need to. Come back up to cat. Move your hands to the left so that your right foot can come up, and your hands go either side now of your right foot. And then, if that's available to you, take a support under your knee if you need to. Kneel up and open your palms. So this becomes like a moon salute. And looking ahead or looking slightly up. And then bring your head to center as you raise your arms upwards, and then turn so that your left hand goes to the outside of your right leg, and your right hand rests on the right waist, and just turn gently over to the right, and stay here for an in and an out breath. Come back to the center and slide your hands forward to either side of your right foot. As you slide your right foot back, just waggle your bottom. Again, you can look down or up, that's an option. So you're just waggling or wagging the dog, or wagging your tail from side to side. Come to the center, and your hands go to the right this time to allow your left foot to come up, and your hands go either side of your left foot. Again, you've got a choice to keep your head looking forward. You don't have to have it down. But if you like to have it down, and that's okay if you do, but you don't have to. And then kneeling up as you raise your hands up, looking ahead. You can look up if you want to, stretch your fingers. And then just lower your hands, open your hands out to your moon salute, looking forward or up, and then raise the right arm as you turn towards the left. My right hand is holding my right thigh, and my left hand is on my left waist. So I'm just turning and taking a breath in and out. And then coming back to the centre and coming forward, hands either side of the left foot, to support you while you slide your left foot back into cat. And this time we're going to do something called rockabye baby. Just sway the bottom from side to side. Again, you can choose your focus with your head to be looking up, or more naturally you would look down here, but again, choose what works for you. And then just set your knees and hands as you're comfortable, and just start to make a figure of 8. So your figure of 8 can be small or it can be large. Again, you can look up or down. Down would be more natural, but again, if you're keen to keep your focus up, then please do. And your figure of 8 can go right down and right forward, or it can be tiny. And just note which direction you've taken. And then the invitation is to reverse your 8, which I find very difficult. I tend to go wrong instantly, which kind of says that one's brain patterns are very much set to one direction, because how we move reflects back to our brain. And then just very gently come back to swaying the bottom from side to side, and then coming to take the weight off our hands, bringing the bottom back towards the heels, and then just coming to the side and sitting with legs straight out in front of you. So I just wanted to flag up that yoga, as you know anyway, is so adaptable. It can adapt to virtually any condition that anybody has. So today the focus is slightly away from forward bends, in other words bringing the blood to the head quite so much. So just have your hands either side of you and just have your toes up towards the ceiling, and breathing out, point your toes away. Breathing in, toes up to the ceiling, and breathing out, toes away. One more time. As you breathe in, your toes go up to the ceiling, and breathing out, your toes go away. And then very gently start to circle your ankles in one direction. So this circling is boosting your circulation, and it's getting blood moving down towards the feet through the ankles, and then circle your ankles in the other direction. So this is a movement, not that any of us are on planes at the moment, but if you were on a plane and you were sitting for a long period of time, then moving your feet is a very easy way to boost your circulation. And then stretch your toes and just release them. Pressing your hands lightly into the ground will encourage you to sit up straight. And then raising your hands up, palms together, bend your elbows and slide your hands down your legs. So I'm going to come to my shins, press my hands down and have a sense of lengthening from the tailbone to the top of my head. Your option here is to slide your hands down a little bit further, and you'll note that I'm looking more up, so I'm taking blood away from my head and the eyes. But if you want to look down and extend the back of your neck, then that would be natural to do that. And again, you've got a choice as to how much you want to come forward. Depending on your capacity of or length of your arms, really, you can hold your big toes with your second and third finger, and that naturally almost encourages you to look up. And again, keep blood away from your head. You can then look down, but it's not a big forward bend. It's just a very gentle forward bend. But again, choose where you feel comfortable. And again, you can just move from side to side, lifting up one side and then the other, which will stretch out your back, your lower back. And take a breath in and out. You'll feel the backs of your legs stretching. You can always have a slight bend in your knees if that's also comfortable for you, and don't feel you have to hold your big toes either. And then sliding your hands up, come to bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha, and here we're just going to keep to a modified version of holding either the ankles or above the ankles to sit up, and just bounce your knees. So here you're opening your inner groin, and this connects through to the part of the lower lymph system. So again, you're boosting your energy at the hip area. This exercise, by the way, is brilliant for men because it opens the energetic pathways where they need to be opened, and is very much in, I'm thinking of Iyengar yoga, something given for men for promoting prostate health. But they can sit static, they don't have to bounce their knees up and down, they can sit against a wall for support and on a cushion and all kinds of things. And then very, very gently bring your knees together. You can support them underneath. Clasp in front either of your legs or underneath, and just walk your feet towards you and lift your heels. Keeping straight with your back, and you'll notice that you're engaging your abdominal muscles to keep that upward lift. And then very gently come to a cross-legged position. Hold your knees or your shins to encourage you to lift up. And breathing out, I'm taking my left hand to my right knee or right thigh. Right hand goes behind me. Just press slightly down with my right hand. That lifts me up. And breathing out and turning. Press your hand down, lengthen, and just turn. You don't need to turn your head very much. And then come back to the center. Lengthen upwards and bring your right hand now to your left knee. Left hand behind you as you press down. Lengthen your body. And breathe out, turn. Press your hand down, lengthen your body. And breathing out, turn. And then come back to the center. Just hold your knees comfortably. Breathe in as you turn your head to the left. Breathe out as you turn your head to the right. Into the left and out to the right. Into the left and out to the right. Into the left and out to the right. Into the left. Breathing out as you turn your head to the right. In left and out right. Come back to the center. We're going to come to lying on our backs, but before we do so, I wanted to do a very gentle eye soother. If you rub the palms of your hands together, you've got a lot of energy points in your palms, nadis, electromagnetic sort of the energy field. And if you then, having rubbed your hands together so that they're warm, just place the palms of your hands over your closed eyes, and you'll feel a warmth from the palms, very soothing for the eyes, and then just gently open the eyes into the darkness of the palms, slide the palms away, and just release your hands back again. Anytime, if you've been working and your eyes feel tired or they feel strained, this, they call it palming, and that's not surprising. This palming action is really, really beneficial for the eyes. Rubbing the hands, just gently placing the palms over the eyes, and then opening the eyes and smoothing the palms across and outwards over the temples. Come to lying on the mat. Your knees are bent and your feet are hip width apart. Your hands are palms down alongside you. Feel that you can press down with your feet just to lift your hips and settle them. And just start by very gently swaying your knees from side to side. You can lift your hips very gently as you do this. And you can optionally decide to move your head away from the direction of the knees. So if your knees go to the right, you might choose to move your head slightly to the left. Knees and head come back to the centre, and your knees go to the left as your head turns to the right. Your body's being supported by the earth, and so any movement in the spine is, your spine is being held and supported. So it becomes a very safe movement. And then hug one knee and then the other knee into the chest. And just very gently rock your knees from side to side. And then support your thighs underneath to place one foot and then the other foot back down onto the earth. Lift up your right knee, hug your right knee into your chest, turn your right knee out to the right and rest your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Your hands can either rest on your abdomen or just palms down alongside you. As you once more just rock from side to side. Here, of course, you're opening your right thigh, your right inner groin, and in this figure of four, you're beginning also to open something called the piriformis muscle, very gently, which is a little muscle on the outside of your thigh, connecting your thigh with your hip. And this can often be implicated in stiff hips. You can sway your knees from side to side. Come back to the centre and hug your right knee into your chest, placing it back down alongside you. And then bring your attention to your left knee as you hug your left knee into your chest. And turn your left knee out to the left as you rest your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Hands either on your abdomen or palms down alongside you as you rock your knees from side to side. Opening up the left side. And then come to the centre. Hug your left knee back into the chest and once more place your left foot on the ground. Raise your hands above you, open your elbows out to the side and slide your hands, they can be clasped, underneath your head. So this slightly lengthens your neck and it cradles your head. It's opening up under your arms, of course, so that comes into the upper lymph energy system. And you can optionally bring your elbows vaguely together as you slightly lift your head, not a lot, and roll your body to the right. Roll back. How much you lift up is up to you. Roll back to the mat. And then roll yourself slightly, lifting your right shoulder over to the left. Come back to the centre. And just once more, slightly lift your left shoulder as you pick that up and roll over to the right. Your knees can roll too. Come back to the centre. And then just gently roll over to the left so that you're picking your right shoulder up. And then come to the centre. Release, supporting your head, the hands are underneath your head so that you rest your head back onto the mat. And raising your arms up above you, hold your thumbs, you can keep your elbows bent. And just bring both arms fractionally to the right, stretch up to the centre and bring your arms fractionally over to the left. Come back to the centre and then lower your arms as you breathe out. Hands alongside you as you make a couple of pelvic tilts. So here, feel that you can adjust your feet. Press your feet down as if you're going to lift your bottom and then just roll down. Press your feet so that you flatten your back as if you're going to lift your bottom. And then just release and relax. There's a little gap that appears underneath your lower back. You could almost put your hands there and then just flatten again. So this time, press your feet into the ground, actually lift your bottom as little or as much as you would like. Raise your hands up, chin slightly tucked to the chest, which limits your forward movement, and arms up behind you. And then breathing out, lower your arms and lower your back, vertebra by vertebra, down to the ground. And then hug your knees into your chest and just rock gently from side to side. And then supporting your legs under the thighs, place one foot and the other foot down. Press your feet down, lift up, lift your bottom, lift your arms up. Your chin tucks into your chest. And then breathing out, lower your bottom back down to the ground, lower your arms. And then hug the knees into the chest. And rock very gently from side to side. And we'll do this one more time, placing your feet on the ground, palms down, flattening your back as you lift up. Lift your arms, lift your bottom. Breathing out, lower your arms, lower your bottom. Hug your knees into your chest. And rock from side to side. And now drop your hands under your thighs. You can clasp them if that helps, and raise your feet gently up to the ceiling. And you can very gently rock your feet from side to side. So this becomes an inversion. It limits the flow of blood to the head, because you're not aiming your head down as you would do in a standard forward bend. Very soothing. It rebalances the hormonal endocrine system. All inversions do that. If you wanted to do this for longer, you can always rest your legs up a wall and have support under your head or under your bottom if you would like to do that. Just gently rock from side to side. Bend your knees now into your chest and rock again with your knees hugged into your chest from side to side. Supporting your thighs underneath, bring one foot and then the other foot back down to the mat. And bring your hands up to your forehead, your third eye. Choose one palm and just very gently with the flats of your fingers circle around the centre of your forehead. There's a little dent or a dip there, and this is an acupressure point. And then using that same palm, just very gently stroke the fingers from one temple across the forehead and off at the other temple. So smoothing your fingers, tracing very gently across your forehead. So although this is the third eye, it does tune in to the eye area as well. And just a third time, just smooth your fingers across. And then just very, very gently have the flats of your fingers against your temples. And very, very, very gently either just press into your temples and release, or very gently make little circles with the flats of your hands. Whichever you find most soothing. So this is connecting into your eyes, of course, relieving tension. And then just dropping your hands down in front of your ears go underneath the lobes of your ears, and you've got just almost behind the jaw an area beneath the ears. You can just massage with the flats of your fingers here. Now that is for your ears, but it's also your eyes. So you can, it's very useful for clearing any accumulation of fluid, or just generally and safely keeping things flowing for the eyes, but away from the eyes, if that makes sense. And then while you're here, you might like to just move your fingers along the hairline to the back of the nape of the neck, and just enjoy massaging there, where the head or the skull joins, or the neck. You can get a lot of tension there. Anywhere on your head that has a dent, and there are lots of dents if you check, is a little acupressure point. So sometimes just holding your entire head and just feeling with your fingers and your thumbs those little dents, and just holding your fingers over them can be very calming. You'll find this therapy in Mama therapy, which is the Ayurvedic therapy. And you'll get it in Indian head massage as well, of course, where you're just tuning into those little acupressure points. And each one has a name, both in Chinese and in Sanskrit. Each point is, some of them are so important they have their own name, and they each have their own purpose and function. But again, it's an area of the body that we tend to ignore, just think the head takes care of itself. And then breathing out, just release your hands and bring them to rest on your abdomen. Your elbows very slightly out to the side. And as you breathe in, notice your abdomen expands very slightly. And breathing out, your abdomen imperceptibly moves away from you, from your hands. And then bring and expand your attention to be aware of the breath as it comes in and out of your nostrils. Breathing in, the breath is slightly cooler. And as you breathe out, your breath is slightly warmer. In, cooler, and out, slightly warmer. And take this moment now to mentally imagine yourself wrapped in a cocoon of colour. Choose a colour today. Just wrap yourself in a colour like an auric egg, inside and out. And in your little bubble, take a moment to have a thought for the day, and think that thought again a couple of times, so it's setting your sankalpa, your intention for the day. And then just let the thought go, knowing that the intention has been set. It can be for yourself or for somebody else. And you can stay here, just relaxing. If you want to join me for the end of the class, then really do take your time to move fingers and toes as you become aware of where you are on the mat. And taking your time again to hug one knee into the chest and then hug the other knee into the chest. Let your body adjust if you are going to come up. Roll to the right, so this is away from your heart, so it's less stress for your body. And then place your left hand on the floor and press down on your left hand, slightly coming up and resting for a moment on your right elbow. Keep your head almost parallel to let the blood readjust into your head so that there's nothing fast or a sudden rush of blood. And then press your hands down to come up very gently to a seated position. And you'll notice that coming up gently is much more gentle on the nerves, or on your whole system really. And then bringing your hands to your heart, you don't have to bring your head down. Take a mental bow for yourself as I gong the gong, Thank you very much for joining me today.